Hot Springs Village Inside Out is a closer look at the greatness of Hot Springs Village, Arkansas and the surrounding areas. People, places, experiences. Hot Springs Village, Arkansas is one of the most beautiful places on the earth. Join me, Randy Cantrell, and my co-host Dennis Simpson as we engage in weekly conversations to explore Hot Springs Village Inside Out. Today's show is brought to you by Central Arkansas's favorite radio station, KVRE. Find them on the dial at 92.9 FM. Stream them live at kvre.com. RE/MAX of Hot Springs Village is the largest real estate office with over 30 full-time agents and support staff. They're also an award-winning RE/MAX office. Visit them to learn more about this beautiful place to figure out your real estate needs. Call them today at 1-800-364-9007 or find them online at explorerhsv.com. They are RE/MAX of Hot Springs Village at 1-800-364-9007 or online at explorerhsv.com.
Another episode of Hot Springs Village Inside Out with Dennis Simpson. Unfortunately, we don't have Randy Cantrell today. He's not doing well today, but it's no big deal. He'll be back. But it's his loss because I get to visit with these two lovely ladies today, Miss Kathy and Miss Jana, with Chrysalis Day Spa. What is a chrysalis? Why do I need a day spa? What is that?
Well, chrysalis actually, and I didn't know what it was until a friend of mine actually told me, but it's the cocoon of the butterfly.
Oh, really?
So when she came up with the name, I was like, I love it because it's like, transformation. And it's just I thought a very catchy name and it's done well.
And you've done this for how many years?
17.
17. So you're just getting started, right?
Getting started.
Jana, what do you do, dear?
I work for Kathy and I do the injecting and fillers, PDO threads.
A thread. Now, what is that?
Well, it's kind of a newer thing they're doing. The PDO is polydioxine and it actually stimulates collagen.
Oh,
growth.
really? So
it's a suture thread.
Let's back up a few feet from here. Okay. So y'all are in Hot Springs. We're in Hot Springs Village. So Kathy, you had the idea to have a day spa. What brought that about? Did you just say, hey, this is a great need in the community or what?
Well, okay, long story short, 24 years ago, I was a skincare person with Mary Kay Cosmetics, and I loved the skincare side of it. And a friend of mine said, she goes, you could take a class and they have this thing called esthetician. And I was like, that's the what? And she told me. And so I was like, great. And she was going to go to school. So we both enrolled together. And as I was getting out of school, a company called Untitled hired me. I was looking for temporary work. They hired me to be a sales rep, and the cellular industry was booming. And so I took the job, worked for them 10 years and kept my license every year. I was like, one of these days. And finally, when I did it, it took off like wildfire. So
really?
Yeah, really.
So for a guy, I say, what's a day spa? Women know what day spas are. Guys are like, where you go and get a massage, right? No? Yeah.
Well, we have both male and female clientele. I mean, I'd say 75% are women and 25% are men, because men do get facials, men get massages, men get waxing. So laser. Yeah, laser, all that good stuff. And
straight men get waxing? Straight men? Is that?
Absolutely. It's not just a girl thing.
Nope.
I did that for my wife because I know she'll get that joke. Anyway, we'll go back. So my point being, so this little furrowed brow I have right here. Now, Jana, you can fix that. Is that magic or what?
It's not, it looks like magic when I get done, but it's not actually magic. So what we do to fix those wrinkles, it's a botulinum toxin. You can get Dysport, you can get Botox. And what it does is it temporarily paralyzes the muscle under your skin. So when the muscle doesn't contract, it leaves your skin smooth. So it looks like somebody ironed your forehead.
Well, I've had people tell me this before, that obviously these techniques, this is nothing new. We've done this, 30 years, I guess, Kathy?
Right.
Something like that.
It's been a long time.
But I've seen it done poorly too, if you get my drift. And there are people who can't move their eyebrows and that kind of thing. Where is that line, Kathy? What do you do?
Well, I mean, once it's in there, it has to wear off. And I mean, typically at 4 weeks, it's going to start diminishing. So if you do have if you have a droopy eye, it's rare. I mean, it doesn't happen that often, but if it does, I mean, it's just something that time will take care of.
It will go away. But I'm saying, is most of it, when it's done poorly, is that because they've used too much, or how much do you know to use, or what?
It's the reason for that is you need to know facial anatomy and muscles. So you have to know which muscles are making those wrinkles and hit those appropriately. If you hit it in the wrong spot, then it's not going to relax that muscle. That's where you sometimes you either get droopy, or you can get what we call a Spock eyebrow.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really about placement and knowing facial and muscle anatomy.
Well, let's call a spade, because I know some things that I may not need to know. I know that you are a licensed registered nurse, right?
Yes.
So you've had these classes. And on the other hand, I know of, how shall I say that, there are other spas that you go through a 3-hour course and they say, here's where you should do it, and that kind of thing. And then you want a professional. How long have you been an RN, Jana?
Let's see, 13 years, 14 years.
Wow. Okay. So you've seen a lot of brows or a lot of other parts, right?
Yes.
Kathy, tell me, ballpark, and I know these are the wildest of ballparks, but anybody who's listened this far, and thank you, watchers and listeners, what does this cost? What is the treatment? You walk in, how do I even know what I need? How does a lady know what they need?
Well, Miss Jana here, she usually evaluates the client and then, ask them what areas bother them. Like, somebody might just want the 11s done. Somebody may want the
11s.
We call them the 11s. Those ones where you get when you scrunch your eyebrows.
Yeah,
together.
make a frown and look what you happen between your
There you
eyebrows.
go.
There's your 11s.
I will never see that look again. I will never hear it. Oh, you got the 11s. Yep.
Your 11s. Anyway, so it just depends. I mean, it can go from $100 to up to $500, just depending on if they want around their eyes done, if they want the whole forehead done, just totally depends. And Dysport, we charge $4.50 per unit right now. I mean, the prices change occasionally.
But Dysport, what is that?
It's a botulism toxin. It's a competitor of Botox, but
it's like a Botox.
Yes.
Botox being like a Coca-Cola. It's a brand name, and
Absolutely.
there's other. Okay.
And
so is Dysport, though. Dysport's brand too.
Okay.
Yeah, and then Botox is like $13 per unit. It typically takes twice as many units of Dysport to equal, like you're going to use 2 units of Dysport to 1 unit of Botox.
Okay.
So the price is, it's a little bit less expensive for Dysport. They last about the same amount of time. It just depends. Some people some people have a preference.
Mm-hmm.
So is there and I'm trying to ask all the questions that I can imagine the people listening and watching is there an age that I need to come see you at, or that a woman would need to come see you at, that a person needs to come see you at?
No, it used to be, like with my age group.
Whatever that may be.
That's right.
The 30-somethings, the 30-somethings.
Almost a taboo-ish kind of a thing. You didn't tell everybody, and you didn't even talk about getting Botox or Dysport or anything like that until you were, in your 40s, 50s. Now we're seeing much, much younger people come in to do it preventatively.
Prophylactically, as we would say, right?
There you go.
Huh.
They do it before those wrinkles and lines can be formed.
So let me ask this. So we would call you. Do you just simply call the front desk and ask for an appointment?
Yes, you can.
And then Jana would meet you there and do an evaluation of what you need and where.
Yep. Just call in and make an appointment for a consultation, and come in and we can talk about it and say.
And I'm guessing that the average treatment is between $200 and $300 in that ballpark.
Probably more. It depends. It depends on what you're getting, because it depends if you're getting Botox or Dysport is going to be cheaper than if you come in and get fillers.
Oh, fillers are more expensive.
Yes,
okay, well,
different things, and people get confused. They they don't know the difference.
Sure. Well, help me here. So
okay.
I have my 11s. All right. Is there any time that you would use a filler on that area, or what do you do?
It's Botox or or Dysport you would use there, but we can usually smooth all that out with the Dysport or Botox.
Hang on.
So the difference between
hang on. I got to make the noise because I'm going to take out the going blind part, and we're back. So and 3, 2, 1. So the real purpose of fillers is, I mean, where would you use a filler?
Filler is where you have volume loss, that you want extra volume, like your lips.
Or
You
your
want-
cheeks?
Or your cheeks.
Mhm.
Okay,
your,
so
your chin.
So we see beautiful little children or beautiful teenagers, and they have these glowing cheeks. What happens? Where does that go? Kathy, where did mine go? Huh? I was cute.
Your fat pads are what makes you cute under there.
Really?
And as you age, not only do they that gravity,
They come down some.
yes,
And they disappear.
and they disappear.
around
And
the eyes.
so we
around
add,
the mouth.
here,
So you come back in and put filler basically under the cheeks.
put filler
Yeah.
here, and it brings everything right back up.
But okay. So if you put filler here, that obviously it expands the area around my crow's feet, I guess. Does that help or hurt them or what?
Your cheeks.
It does help with the crow's
Yes,
feet.
it does.
Really? How
Mhm.
about I may have to come in and see you people. This is sounding good. Kathy, what other services do you offer? Y'all have massage or what?
We do everything. We're a full service spa. So we do massages, facials, waxing, body treatment, salt scrubs, mud wraps. We even have a salon. It's small, but and they're so busy they don't hardly take new clients. So they're
Right. Well,
Yeah.
luckily I don't need any hair care. I'm good.
but we do offer full service lasers. I mean, I have probably more lasers than most dermatologists' office in the state of Arkansas.
Really? Okay. Well, I want to go down the laser path. We're going to come back to that in just a minute. And we'll do one of those in another show also, but a deeper dive. Tell me about the downtown store by the wine bar, because that sounds interesting. Any place beside the wine bar sounds good to me.
Right? You can have a glass of wine before you get a massage.
I like that.
I bought that building like 6 or 7 years ago and just kind of held off on redoing it because I always wanted to be downtown. I love downtown Hot
Now,
Springs.
where is it? Where is it downtown?
321 Washita Avenue.
Is that
And
across from Squeezebox?
Yeah, kind of across from Squeezebox.
Squeezebox Pizza and Brewing,
Yeah.
which is a great place for pizza. Yeah.
Yes, but I took an old building. It was built in 1903, completely gutted it. We kept the original tin ceiling, the original hardwood floors, the original brick walls, which was actually under plaster. So it's a total remodel, but it's a beautiful building. I wish I could spend more time there, but I do have, it's probably half the size of my spa in Temperance Hill, but we have massage therapy. We do, same thing we do at the Temperance Hill location, except for we don't do the lasers.
Well, come back to it though, because there was one other thing. We talked back around the end of the year and you were talking about New Year's Eve parties, and apparently, who knew, but some people have been known to come to Hot Springs and, shall we say, overindulge. Does that happen? Have you heard of that?
Absolutely. And that's why we're getting started an IV bar.
What?
An IV bar, they're super popular. So in both locations, so if somebody does overindulge, or if they want to pre-party and like really hydrate,
Prehydrate for their
prehydrate,
overindulgement.
yeah, they could come in and get an IV, and it's like it gives them all of the electrolytes. And if they need Zofran for nausea, we got that.
So Jana, I'm guessing, are you a professional at treating hangovers, or do you just know how they come?
Well, in a previous life, I was a cocktail waitress, so
Were you
I'm pretty good at causing you to have one.
you know the root source is what I'm hearing. You know where they come from. You know where they come from.
Yeah.
So what is, and really, I'd never heard about this, rehydration and prehydration. What are we talking about?
Well, a lot of times when people do golf tournaments, they'll want to like do an IV just because it gives you all your electrolytes and super hydrating, and so they can play better in the hot sun. And and then if they drink beer and stuff all day when they play golf.
Who knew,
Yeah,
right?
who knew? And so if they feel bad the next day, same thing. Hangovers are a lot of times caused by dehydration, and so this immediately hydrates the body better than just drinking.
Well, and having a licensed nurse there to distribute it, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. I'm getting the picture now. What if I'm a junior athlete and I'm really not super great shape, but I think I'm going to try and run this 5K. This would be great to prep before.
Absolutely.
Really?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You can do
Wow.
it after also.
Really? You sound like soups to nuts people. Like y'all have a little bit of everything and it covered everybody.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'm amazed. So let's come back. We're going to touch on some other topics. We'll glaze over these quickly for the first episode. And it's been so great having y'all here. So step one, they take lasers. There's how many different lasers are there? How many different lasers do you have?
Oh my goodness. I have probably 6 different lasers.
6.
Yeah. Which some of them have similar wavelengths, but like we have one for laser hair removal. It's like, and I use Lumenis, which is Lumenis. That's the company I buy from. Top lasers in the industry. I have what's called the Pico 4. It's for pigment and tattoo removal. I have
that actually dissipates the pigment under the skin, right?
Yes. So it targets color. It targets color. So like a black tattoo is going to shatter that color. Same thing with people who have sunspots. I can go in and like treat a sunspot. Sometimes on one treatment, it'll get rid of it. And America is sun damaged.
Yes.
We're all sun damaged.
My doctor told me about that.
Yes. But and then we have the CO2 laser, which we'll do. That's more ablative. That's pretty intense. It has another feature on it, which is FemTouch, which is a vaginal rejuvenation laser that's super popular with the female clientele. It's great for bladder issues. Just all kinds. We can discuss more of that later.
Yeah.
How shall we say? It tightens things, shall we say? Is that fair enough?
Yeah.
Yes.
And like people who have bladder issues, I'm telling you, and if any woman that's over the age of 35 and has had children, they know what I'm talking about.
Nobody likes to sneeze and go to the bathroom at the same time, I hear tell.
Right.
And then I also have an IPL laser, which stands for intense pulse light. And that is great for rosacea, people who have redness in the skin or people who have sun damage. It does pull the sun damage to the surface. So kind of looks like coffee grounds day one. And then over a 2-week period, it slowly sloughs off, and it's amazing the difference.
So everything has a different purpose, of course, right?
Oh, yeah.
And the Pico is like really powerful, as I understand.
It's an amazing laser. I was scared to death when I first got it. I've had it like 3 years now, and I've people who get those treatments love them.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So then there's CO2, which, like you say, is abrasive and a little more aggressive. And then the IPL is what? Roughly price wise and roughly treatment wise.
Typically for a facial treatment with IPL, it's $200. If we do face, neck, chest, which most people have sun damage from their, the breast area up, that's a $300 treatment. I do arms, I do hands, I do full body if they want full body. We do have another laser called Resurfix, which is non-ablative. It's very similar to CO2. So it's great for regenerating collagen. It's almost like you have a sunburn, but it's a deeper treatment than just the IPL. So it's great for collagen.
So kind of in between IPL and CO2 of sorts.
Yes.
So you say regenerate the collagen. Is that the healthy glow that we see in children? Is that the thing? Is it brings back the collagen?
Yeah, the thickness in the skin. Like whenever you get a cut or that's the collagen is what produces almost like scar tissue.
Yeah.
So, but if you can go that, what a laser can do, it can kind of damage the skin a little bit to where your skin produces collagen. So it does so you can take a thin skin and make it thicker.
Wow. So, okay. Just my read on this. I'm not a lady, but I'm trying to go through the pieces here. $1,000 at your facility would go a long way. IPL, Botox, fillers. Yeah. I could, probably $500 would do a lot of what most people need. Is that fair?
Yeah, absolutely. And so many people, if they have something that bothers them, they fix it. It's something that you look in a mirror every day and that bothers you, fix it. It's worth it.
It's not going to get better.
It's not going to get better.
Yeah.
Wow. It's been a wonderful meeting with y'all today. Can we come back again? Would you mind?
Absolutely. Love to.
We'd love to have you back. For Chrysalis Day Spa and Hot Springs Village Inside Out, I'm Dennis Simpson. She's Kathy. She's Jana. And we will talk to you again soon.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dennis.
Thank y'all.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Hot Springs Village Inside Out, a podcast where Hot Springs Village, Arkansas is the star. Please subscribe to the podcast. You can do that by visiting our website, hsvinsideout.com, and tell a friend.